50 billion views. That's the estimated total viewership of the collective channels all using different variations of the same strategy on YouTube. A strategy so powerful, so effective that most people don't even realize it's there. But I did. See, I grew up with YouTube being a huge part of my life. It was my dream to make YouTube be part of my career someday. And as I got older, as I began surrounding myself with creators on this platform, I realized something that was going to completely change everything I thought I knew about YouTube and content marketing. So in this video, I'm holding nothing back. I'm sharing the exact, proven strategy that got all of these creators the success they've all achieved. A combined 50 billion views, all from one overarching strategy. And once you understand it, your business will get more opportunities and distribution that no other competitor can even come close to matching. I said that channels were using variations of the same strategy, and that's because the strategy you are going to learn by the end of this video isn't necessarily one size fits all. It warps and shapes the brands before it, meaning my job is to align this strategy with your business. And that's actually the problem. People see Alex Hormozi's content strategy and copy it to the ground, but that's just making you blend in. So how can we actually make a custom strategy for your brand using inspiration from the same creators who gained over 50 billion views? Well, when we audit a brand's channel, it was never about the content. Instead, it had everything to do with the transformation. The question you're trying to answer initially isn't what performed well. It's what transformation does my audience need to go through, and is my content currently building that journey end to end? Because a channel that converts isn't just a collection of good videos. It's a structured path that moves a stranger from problem aware to buyer ready. Most channels are missing 3 to 4 steps in that path entirely and don't even know it. When I sat down with my most recent client, the first thing I did was go over his YouTube channel. He had a collection of videos that all had good production, good thumbnails, well-structured titles, and great editing. From a purely content point of view, this channel was doing amazing, but it wasn't. Despite the effort put into the production, the channel averaged less than 300 views per video. When I ran the audit, the issue wasn't the quality of the individual videos. It was that his channel had no journey architecture, no strategy behind what makes a YouTube brand build real connection. The transformation was scattered. So we restructured the entire content roadmap around the buyer journey first, and every content decision after that had a different quality to it because now we knew what each video was supposed to do, not just what it was supposed to teach. This is what every successful creator does. Every person who you've started trusting on this platform specifically engineered their channels with this exact idea. So here's how to do it. Before you look at a single video, write down the stages your ideal buyer goes through before they're ready to purchase. An example could be problem aware, solution aware, then ready to act. Now look at your content and ask yourself, how many videos do I have at each stage? Most channels are 80% clustered at one stage. That's the gap. That's where the strategy starts. Once you give that sense of direction for your brand, you'll notice immediate results. Now you have a strategy, a direction, a content roadmap built around transformation instead of guesswork. But here's the problem. Most people take that strategy and immediately go produce content. And that's exactly where the whole thing falls apart. Because from now on, each chapter is adding to this core strategy we just outlined, each getting deeper than the last. Before we get to the most powerful part of the strategy, I need to show you how to produce the right kind of content for your brands. You have the strategy. You know the transformation your audience needs. So the natural next step is to start producing better thumbnails, tighter editing, more consistent uploads. And that's exactly where most brands quietly die. It sounds shocking, almost counterintuitive, but hear me out. I want you to imagine your YouTube channel as a campfire. Your production quality is the logs, the thumbnails, the editing, the titles. They are the base of your channel. But logs alone don't start a fire. You need kindling first. Kindling is distribution, watch time, click-through rate, comments, subscriptions. That's the data YouTube uses to decide whether to show your video to anyone beyond your existing audience. And YouTube won't push your content to cold audiences until you've proven it's worth pushing, which means your first job isn't to make great content, it's to earn distribution. Production serves that goal, sure, but It doesn't replace it. My client had production that most YouTubers would envy. Clean editing, solid thumbnails, real expertise on camera, and the channel averaged under 300 views a video because it was built around content quality instead of distribution strategy. The algorithm had no kindling. When we rebuilt the first several videos around search demand, topics people were actively typing into YouTube, the watch time data shifted. And once the watch time shifted, YouTube started feeding those videos to cold audiences for the first time. So how exactly did we go about this? Well, the first move is activating leverage you already have. You have a business, which means you have an existing audience somewhere. An email list, an Instagram, past clients, a school community. That existing group becomes your seed audience. You point them at the YouTube channel first. That initial engagement gives the algorithm the metadata it needs to begin testing your content with colder audiences. But that alone isn't enough because a seed audience will only take you so far. The second move is rebuilding your topic strategy around demand that already exists. Early channels cannot chase browse traffic. YouTube won't serve you to cold audiences until you've earned it. So the first several videos need to be built around what people are actively searching for. Findable first, viral later. You earn the algorithm's trust by proving your content holds attention, which leads directly to the third move, fixing your retention structure. Not to be confused with production quality, but simply the structure. The first 30 to 60 seconds of every video has to hold hard enough that the viewer has no reason to leave. Because retention data is the signal the algorithm trusts above everything else, it is single-handedly the most crucial stat to optimize before anything else. By adding these three improvements to your strategy, your brand can finally catch fire. Now you have the strategy built around transformation and a distribution system built to earn the algorithm's trust. But once that system starts working, once the algorithm begins pushing your content to cold audiences, those viewers have one question the moment they land on your channel. Why you? Why not the 100 other creators in your exact niche covering the exact same topics? And production quality is not the answer. The answer is something that most creators never build intentionally. And it's the reason why some channels feel like an experience you can't get anywhere else, while everyone else around them just feels like content. If you want to actually stand out in your niche, you need to go beyond your viewers' expectations and provide them an experience. Most creators think standing out means looking different. A unique editing style, a specific color palette, a distinct thumbnail format, something visual that separates them from everyone else in the feed. But the reason it feels like most creators are cycling through the same thumbnail formats is simply because it works. So if you try something different, you are taking a bigger gamble than what it's worth. I mean, there's a reason that Steve Jobs said, "Good artists copy, but great artists steal." The creators with 50 billion combined views aren't standing out because of how they look necessarily. They're standing out because of how they make you feel. Every video is engineered around an emotional experience, not just an information delivery. The content is the vehicle. The experience is what people come back for. This is the Trojan horse. The viewer thinks they clicked for the information, but what keeps them watching, subscribing, and eventually buying is the experience wrapped around it. And that experience is something you design intentionally before ever hitting record. Mr. Beast doesn't hold a billion views because his production is flawless, though it is. He holds it because every video is designed around an emotional peak that hits roughly every 90 seconds. Tension, release, surprise, tension again. The viewer's emotional state is being managed as precisely as the cinematography. Your clients watch creators like this and feel the pull without ever understanding why. So what does this look like in a business context? Well, if you want to package an experience, we need something to pull viewers in, and then once they get deeper into your video, they realize there's so much more value here than expected. Like this video here, I use my age to make people wonder, how is a kid that young going to actually creative direct my business? Then, once they watch my video long enough, they get more and more value as the video goes on. We need to replicate this for your channel exactly. Here's how I set this strategy up for my clients. I start off by making 4 to 5 searchable videos to gain some initial traction. These are typically simple how-to videos. Then, every video idea that follows will have an outline experience attached to each one. The goal here is to have our videos go beyond the viewer's expectations. expectations. Your viewer clicked for information. Give them the information, and then give them something they didn't expect and couldn't get anywhere else. Maybe that's a behind the scenes detail, or an honest take that contradicts conventional wisdom, or maybe a moment of genuine reaction. That unexpected element is what they remember. It's what makes the video an experience. This content strategy is starting to become something really powerful. You just unlock the tool that only 1% of creators know how to actually use effectively, something that will begin growing your channel rapidly. But here's where it gets messy, because now that we crafted real attention for your brand, the strategy to actually turn that into cash goes deeper than including a simple call to action at the end of your videos. It requires a strategy so advanced, it will change your understanding of content marketing entirely. Most creators operate on a single assumption. If the content is good enough and the audience grows large enough, buyers will come naturally. It's a numbers game. Get enough views, get enough subscribers, and conversion takes care of itself. And in some cases, this might be true, but you can also get 100,000 views and 0 buyers. Views are not proof of trust. Views are proof of attention. And attention and trust are two completely different currencies. Only one of them buys. A channel with 8,000 subscribers and a deeply engaged audience will consistently outconvert a channel with 80,000 subscribers where the audience passively consumes and moves on. Passive viewership is the most comfortable trap in content creation because the metrics look right while the revenue stays flat. Here's how we strategically flip this to my client's advantage. Conversion happens in participation, not consumption. The moment a viewer shifts from watching to responding, whether that be commenting, voting, replying, engaging, they stop being a spectator and become a participant. And participants are exponentially closer to buyers than watchers. The entire job of nurturing is to engineer that shift, not to grow the audience first and hope conversion follows, but to build an interactive ecosystem where the audience is constantly moving from passive to active, and active audiences buy. Now listen to this. Channels that build interactive ecosystems convert at a fundamentally different rate than channels that post and wait. The creators in the 50 billion view pool aren't just publishing content, they're running communities around it. Comment sections feel like conversations, community posts that make the audience feel like insiders. The viewer doesn't just watch these channels, they participate in them. And participation is the psychological precursor to purchase. Dan Martell is someone who I've seen do this beautifully. He directly connects his viewers to email lists, his Instagram, his book he published. He has community posts that actively engage with the viewer. Even when you join his email list, he makes you feel seen by making his emails personal. Granted, he is using AI to help with this, which would be a whole separate video, but the point still stands. Basically, what I'm saying is that you need to build an ecosystem of sorts that connects your viewers on a deeper level. That connection builds trust, and trust leads to sales. You now have a complete operating system, a strategy that handles distribution, brand experience, and a conversion ecosystem. What I'm about to show you in this final chapter is what decides whether all of this compounds over time or resets every 6 months. It's the difference between a creator and a branded asset. And most people never build it because it requires thinking further than just your next upload. It requires future-proofing and transitioning your brand from a YouTube channel to an online business asset. Most content creators operate under the idea that consistency is the strategy. Post often, stay relevant, and keep the algorithm fed. If you stop, everything stops. So you run. This is a trap. You value consistency over quality because it brings in steady views. But here's the problem. You can never step off the machine because if you do, the whole system goes quiet. The channel is always starting over. You're not building something, you're just maintaining it. You are the bottleneck to your own brands. The difference between a content creator and a branded asset is compounding. A branded asset is built on a small library of definitive, evergreen content in a specific niche. Content so comprehensive and so authoritative on its topic that anyone searching for it finds you. Not next week, but for years. The work you do today keeps working in 2 years. You don't stay relevant by posting constantly. You stay relevant by owning a specific idea so completely that you become the reference, not just another voice in the feed. But just like everything else in this video, don't just take my word for it. Every creator in that 50 billion view pool has a version of this. Videos from 3 or 4 years ago that still drive subscribers today because they answer a question people never stop asking. The channel grows even when nothing new gets posted because the library is doing the work. That's peak brand architecture, and it starts with a decision about what idea you want to own completely. Here's how to start building it. Write down 3 to 5 questions your ideal buyer asks before they're ready to purchase. For someone like Alex Hormozi, it might be how to become a millionaire or how to win at anything. Don't think about what you want to talk about. Think about what they're actively searching for at the exact moment they need your offer. Build one comprehensive, definitive video for each question. These become your cornerstone content, the foundation every future video points back to and every new viewer gets routed through. Every video you make after that has one of 2 jobs: bring new viewers into the cornerstones or deepen their relationship with people who've already been through them. That's the entire long-term architecture. Everything serves the foundation. This will give your brand the longevity that every successful creator has for their business. This full strategy is how these creators gained over 50 billion lifetime views. All it took was using the exact strategy I outlined in this video to build a brand that will serve them for life. The strategy may not make the content for you, but once you understand it, every content decision carries a different weight because now you know what each video is supposed to do, not just what it's supposed to say. That's the difference between a channel and a brand, between a content and an asset, between views and a business. If you want a creative director to set up a personalized strategy for you, handle the scripting, editing, and the thumbnails for you, and build your business a branded asset online with content, check out the first link in the description where you can book a call with me. We'll discuss what your business is, how we can incorporate the same strategies into your brand, and if we are aligned, then we will work together. I hope this video helped you out, and if you want more from me, please be sure to like this video and subscribe. Thank you for watching.